To make our textured clay faces inspired by Sandra silberzwig, we're going to get a slab of clay. Everyone's going to get one that's about this size. And your first step is to cut out the shape of a face. It can be however you want. I'm just kind of going for a kind of square shape here. I want to make sure that whatever I cut is about the size of my hand. Okay, I don't want to go much smaller than that, otherwise my piece is going to be really, really small and it's not going to be fun for me to do. So once I have the shape of my face, I can kind of smooth out the edges, get it just the way I want it, and then we have different textures that we can press into the clay. Now, I'm not smushing this as hard as I can. I'm gently pressing the texture plate into the surface of the clay, and I can lift back and check it, and I can decide if I need to press a little bit more or anything like that. So gentle pressing, because if I smoosh my clay too flat, it's not going to be a slab anymore and it's going to be sad and look like pancakes. So you can see my texture has transferred into the surface of my clay. Then for each feature on my face, nose, eyes, mouth, I'm going to cut it from a different piece of slab. If you run out of slab, just roll your clay up and smush it flat with the palm of your hand. So now I'm working on the nose. So I'm going to cut the shape that I want, take it off, and then I have to attach this to my face. I can't just stick it on there. Otherwise, it's going to fall right off when it gets fired and I will be sad. So instead, I'm going to kind of make sure where I want to put that. And then I'm going to lift it back off. I'm going to turn it over, and wherever my face is supposed to be, and if you want to kind of like outline like I am here, I'm just kind of putting little lines so that I know where I'm going to put it. So I'm going to mark up my clay. This is called scoring. I'm going to kind of mark it up so it's a rough surface and not smooth. This is going to help my pieces to stick together. I'm also going to have a little container of water. I'm just going to dip one finger in and run it over where I want to put my other piece so that it gets a little bit stickier. Wet clay has a gluey property to it, so it helps the clay to stick together. So I'm going to make sure that both edges are marked up, put a little bit of water to get it wet, and then I'm going to stick that piece down, and I can use my clay tool to kind of smooth out my edges. I'm going to speed up the video a little bit so you can keep going, but I'm just using my clay tool to kind of smush the clay into the other piece of clay. So with each piece I add, I can continue to add texture or not. The choice is up to me. So now I'm going to just kind of keep building my face. I'm going to continue to follow the method of attaching different pieces, making sure that I score both pieces of clay and add just a tiny bit of water so that those stick together and do not come apart in the kiln. When I am finished, you're going to have a little bowl at your table that has all sorts of alphabet pasta in it. You're going to find the letters of your name and gently, very gently, press them into the back of your piece so that it says your name. Your first name is good enough. You do not have to go crazier than that, but that's how you're going to label your piece. If you don't label it, you're not getting it back.